Welcome to Talkin Baloney.
Calvin Cocoa Pop.
This is Booty.
Oh, gosh.
What is going on?
No script allowed.
What are you, some kind of bot? Come on, people.
Oh, yeah. You want a pickle, you gotta give him a pickle, right?
I want to be a movie star.
Wow, that sounds so interesting.
Fresh and quick.
Cheese, pizza.
Part of the Baloney Nation.
Jim Deezy.
You guys still there?
Jim Deezy.
The big guy and a special guest.
That is the most ridiculous intro I've ever.
That's our special guest, the Antman.
Folks, we've been trying to book this guy on our show for quite some time. Let's just say he is the top of the food chain when it comes to G.I. Joe.
What is going on, all 9 of you out there?
Oh, you're speaking to our entire audience at once.
You didn't want to call him out individually?
Nah.
Oh, great. So how you doing there, Ant-Man?
I'm alive.
That's good. That's good.
About it.
Last time you were supposed to be on the show, you had an issue with the back where it wouldn't work anymore.
Yeah, no, that's still a very, very valid issue. Yep.
Is there a safe word or a code word you will be using today if your back decides to lock up?
No, because I'm sitting and I just won't move.
Ant-Man, we brought you in today to talk about the best of the 90s. Specifically, toys, video games, and cars.
Yes.
Car.
Well, vehicles from movies and TV shows, because that's all we talk about here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we don't really know much about cars, other than they have 4 wheels and they go round.
That's what more do you need to know? I mean, that can either be a car or a wagon.
Oh.
Hell, half the cars nowadays don't even take a key.
Yeah, I don't know that luxury. I don't know that luxury, man.
Let's start with cars.
Okay.
All right. This
if you're talking
feels
about,
like it's going to be a very short list.
it is.
Okay.
But you got to start with Wayne's World and the Garthmobile.
It's a vehicle.
It is a vehicle, correct?
Yeah. Yes, it is a vehicle.
Kind of reminds me of Jim Deezy's early car.
My first car, 1979 AMC Spirit hatchback. It was a piece of garbage.
I only remember one thing about that car. I think it was that car, and it was when you blew a spring in it and ended up in a ditch. That's the only thing I remember about that car.
It had we had to get replacement springs put on it after a spring broke, and they don't make the parts for it anymore. So the springs they put on made the car look like it was always going like this. Embarrassing.
A lot of people pay good money for that nowadays.
Oh, I know. It's pimping now.
Mm-hmm. You were a trendsetter.
Yeah. You remember the Yosemite Sam mud flaps that said back off?
Oh, I do remember that too.
Yeah. Speaking of AMC,
mm-hmm.
How about the Good Burger Mobile?
Yeah.
AMC Pacer.
AMC Pacer. The sister car to the Spirit. And the Eagle. That's about all I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not much more to say about AMC, right?
No.
Well, they suck. No one said that.
And they're not in existence anymore.
Right, for a lot of good reasons.
For a lot of bad reasons too.
That's true.
Here's a car Anthony definitely knows about. The vehicle from Tommy Boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Richard's classic 1967 Plymouth Belvedere GTX.
I actually did not know that was. I did not know the make of the car. I just know the theme.
What happened to that car?
What you do?
Excuse me. I'm sure you could recite that whole scene.
I absolutely could. I would definitely not do it without a certain other member of the Baloney fam.
Huh?
I feel that would be there he is. There it is. I feel that would be disingenuous to not have him here.
Yeah.
How about a little bit of Black Sheep?
I mean,
Do you know how fast you were going?
7 miles an hour. And usually when I pull somebody over, they pull over to the shoulder, not the median.
Classic movies. Classic cars, but the movie even more classic.
Yeah.
How about Dumb and Dumber, the Shaggin Wagon?
Did they ever name that in the movie?
I don't know. It wasn't named?
Really?
What was it?
They called it the Shaggin Wagon.
I had no idea.
It was actually a 1984 Ford Ecoline van that was souped up.
Yeah, highly modified.
Yeah.
Yeah, covered in fur.
Do you remember how he had to fill the gas tank? He had to lift the back leg?
Yeah, classic. Absolutely classic.
Hey, attention to detail.
Austin Powers came out in the 90s.
I hate that movie so much.
Thank you.
Oh,
Everything about that movie I hate and always have.
Need we say more, Baloney Nation? Without any prompting, the Antman just confirmed. Stupid movie.
I feel that Joe's about to throw something through that window back there.
well, you didn't like the car? The Jaguar?
No, I hated all of it. Every single bit of that.
Wait, you said the car was called the Jaguar?
Yes. That's
all
great.
I mean, I'll
That's
give that
awesome.
I'll give that a couple brownie points, but God, I hate that movie.
Do you remember his license plate? Swinger.
Oh God, I wouldn't have guessed that. I thought I would have remembered it, but no.
Shag me, baby.
That's kind of good. Fast and the Furious. Those were a bunch of movies.
They're still going. There's no past tense about that.
Yeah, I mean they're trending towards Friday the 13th status now.
I mean that movie at this point is more Die Hard than Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah. They're to a point now where it's like the movie's they're all gonna be old and in rocking chairs, teaching their grandkids how to do whatever kind of racing that they do in all these movies. It's not believable.
Well, I mean they're jumping cars out of buildings and there was the big fight scene between the girls there.
But Tokyo Drift, though, come on.
By far. I wish my nephew was here to talk about Tokyo Drift.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he actually has. We've had a very, very heated discussions about that. He actually enjoys that movie, and that makes me sad.
Why does it make you sad?
Because it's a horrible movie.
Is he seeking counseling?
Oh God, I don't think so. I would rather watch Austin Powers on mute with closed captioning on a 15-inch black and white television before ever watching a minute of Tokyo Drift again. And I hope you all appreciate that I cleaned up what I really wanted to say there. I almost didn't make it through that.
Hey, nothing's off limits on Talking Baloney, except politics
and religion.
Religion.
So feel free. We got a beat machine. Right?
Yeah, right?
Roar. Yeah.
Mother.
Roar.
So I got one more one more vehicle, which is probably another thing that you guys hate dearly. Arrested Development had the famous stair car, the Bluthmobile.
All right. I absolutely love Arrested Development.
Thank God. This show was dying.
I did not love it at the time.
Okay.
I only watched like 2 episodes when it was like relevant or whatever you want to say. And I didn't like it. And then I watched it like 4 years ago, and that show is amazing.
It really
I have never seen it.
Well,
I'm
Jim,
going to say something that's going to piss off everybody.
Go ahead.
I have never watched The Big Lebowski all the way through because I genuinely don't like that movie.
Okay. All right.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
I'm sorry.
So his disdain for the Big Lebowski is probably up there with my level of disdain for Harry Potter.
It's that bad? Wow. Now, have you seen it like recently? Because maybe you need to see it with fresh adult eyes.
I tried like last year and I couldn't do it.
Man, were you intoxicated?
Listen, I was not intoxicated. I was, at work. Actually, I was at work.
Well, you should start drinking at work when you watch these movies, and you probably.
I mean, who would know?
Well, I think we really covered cars well. How about toys?
Toys. Fire away. What are we talking about with toys?
Let's start with the Tamagotchi. Gigapets. You remember those?
Boy, I do, and I don't have much to say about those.
Wow.
I mean, they're like, how can you care about an animal on your keychain that's less than a centimeter tall and 8 pixels on a black and white screen? I don't know. I don't get it.
And yet, it did sweep the nation, and kids like stuff. What are you going to say?
Much respect. It's in the Toy Hall of Fame. That's fine.
Beanie Babies. They
Well,
were big in the 90s.
Yeah, a lot of people spent a lot of money on those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly everybody's parents.
Yeah.
They're worth a fortune now, aren't they?
Barely. I mean, there's some that are like really rare that if you find them still with their tags on, still pristine, then you can make a small fortune on them. But I feel safe in saying that people lost a whole lot more money on Beanie Babies than they gained.
Yep. Basically, because they were stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you can sell a Tupperware or like a Rubbermaid container filled with Beanie Babies, and you might get like $10 for it.
Yeah, good dog toys.
Sure, except the beans on the inside.
It makes for a colorful yard when they have to go to the bathroom.
That is sure.
How about Bop It?
Bop It, kind of an all-star. Have you ever used it? Have you ever used a Bop It?
No. What is a Bop It?
My niece had a Bop It, so I have used a Bop It.
It's not the easiest thing in the world.
No.
Kind of addicting.
It's kind of like
that thing at the arcade.
No, it's kind of like My Simon, except shaped differently and much harder.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like Simon mixed with it's more like puzzly than Simon was, right? So Simon was just like memory, repeat. Bop It was like puzzle, like I don't even know how to classify it.
That's probably why I never played with it, because it was too smart for me.
That's sure. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Well, then, Jim, you probably played with Furby.
So, is it Furby or... Oh, you know what? I have a Furbo in my house, which is the camera for the dogs. But the Furby is I think Abigail's got one of them. It like makes sounds and like purrs and makes little noises and stuff. Yeah, I hate that thing. I keep telling her, don't ever bring it in the house.
It took this many days for us to teach our Furby how to curse.
And how did you do that?
You could teach it how to curse?
Yeah, the old one has like memory, man. They learn words.
Listen, she told me the one day when we dropped her off at college, she said she took it in with her into her dorm room, and she said it had a cold. And it was like sneezing or something. And I'm like, what in the hell? I'm like, that thing's freaking me out. Get it out of the car.
Yeah, That's creepy. Have you ever seen one that doesn't have its like fabric skin on it?
So hers is a custom one. It's like has a great big long thing. It almost looks like a snake almost now, and it can wrap around things. It's
I have no idea.
Yeah. Still don't want it anywhere near the house.
Yeah, no, if you if you Google one of those, like the actual mechanics of it, without its fabricy skin, it will haunt your dreams forever.
So it's like one of those videos that they show you how they make chicken nuggets, then you just don't want to know.
Sure.
What? What's wrong with chicken nuggets?
You've never seen the video?
I just had 20 of them last night. What's going on? Why didn't you tell me this sooner? Oh, no.
The pink ooze that just goes into a tub?
Listen, it doesn't freak you out that every chicken nugget is one of like 4 shapes?
Yeah, but, I mean, they're not as good as the dinosaur shapes, so that's the drawback.
That's a very true statement. I would still eat any of them, but it's freaky. It's definitely freaky.
Yeah. Don't watch the video, big guy. Don't watch the video.
Oh, I won't. It'll ruin my life. So the 90s were like really big with collectible stuff. We talked about Beanie Babies. There was also Pogs. Remember Pogs?
Pogs? Absolutely loved Pogs. Most useless, cheap toy ever. Absolutely loved them.
What is a Pog?
I hate you right now.
I'm just so old I don't remember.
Listen, Pog originated from milk caps. And I honestly think they used to play a game with milk caps before Pogs became a thing, but they were just punched out cardboard circles. Mm-hmm. And you would stack them up, and then you would take something called a slammer, which was like metal or like a thick plastic. It was heavy. And you'd slam it on the stack of Pogs, and whatever flipped over, you took with you. They were yours. So I specifically remember getting in a fight with a kid because he came to play Pogs with his like favorite ones. Like he hand selected out which Pogs he wanted to bring, the ones he thought were the coolest. And as soon as you slam the pile, you take those Pogs with you, the ones that flipped face up. So the real thing to do was to build your stack of Pogs out of the shittiest, out of the worst Pogs that you had. Out of the ones you didn't care about, let them flip over, let your friend take your crappy designed Pogs, and you keep the cool ones that, I don't know, sit on your desk, because that's what happened with most of them. But I will say, like, there was a place, does anybody remember MJ Designs?
Right here we have the hot new Pog milk cake
No.
game.
Oh, wait, no, they used to be at the mall.
No, well, I don't think they were. I don't know. They were where Michael's is now.
Yes, you're right. I remember that store.
The back wall of MJ Designs was just shelves and shelves of Pogs and Slammers. It was almost as good as walking up to the door at Toys R Us. It was a half door. It was off to the corner, and you picked up your video game ticket, and you walked it over to that door, and there was a guy back there in a magical heaven of video games, and he would magically come out and hand you your video game over at that door. The Pog wall at MJ Designs was almost as magical as that door.
And the Pogs, they got very commercial, so like everyone was producing Pogs. You could get Pogs with WWE superstars on it, Marvel Comics characters. You could get everything.
Yeah, like they had them in cereal boxes and stuff too, right?
Yeah. They were everywhere for like 2 years, maybe.
That's probably pushing it. Probably like 8 months.
8 months.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably some are holding up people's like furniture legs and stuff now, making the table not rock.
Good shims.
That's a good use of them, actually.
Yeah, probably.
So something that I thought would last about 8 months, but is still with us today, and I have no idea why, Pokemon.
It's insane.
It makes no sense. No sense.
You know, the people that are into Pokemon, though, are crazy about it.
They have no life.
Some of the original, like, first edition Pokemon cards go for thousands.
I don't get it. I see one of my good friends actually goes all over the place, and he follows these things around all hours of the day.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I have no idea. I was never really into Pokemon, but I kind of respect it. Like, it's you know, striking the same chord as someone who wants to, some weirdo that sits in his basement and wants to collect every G.I. Joe guy ever made.
Where are you sitting right now?
I'm in the basement next to every G.I. Joe guy that was made. No, I mean, it strikes the same chord, right? Like, you want to, the catchphrase was collect them or catch them all, right? So
True.
it was, and it's still insanely popular.
If it was like a Pokemon, but you're at the end result, you were chasing a dozen chicken wings, I may do it.
I'd be totally.
Yeah,
hey, Jim,
like real...
you know how they make chicken wings, don't you? I'm going to ruin it.
They take the chicken and they just rip it apart.
You ever seen a 5-gallon bucket of raw chicken wings?
No.
Make you not want to eat them for quite a while.
Damn it.
Yeah, I'll still eat them. They could fall on the floor. I'll still eat them.
So how about Power Rangers?
I hold up.
Uh-oh. He's going to the vault, folks.
Bam.
Okay. You're going to have to explain that.
Well, this is a signed red Power Rangers, thing. It's whatever. Anyway, that's it. Power Rangers. That's the only Power Rangers thing I have in the basement.
So you met him at Joe Fest, or was it someplace else?
No, that's actually, no, I cheated on that one. That came in a subscription box.
Oh, okay.
But no, Power Rangers was a little bit like after me. It was more of the only knowledge, of Power Rangers that I have came from watching Power Rangers with my nephew, who was 12, 13 years younger than me.
Right.
I would have to say that Power Rangers to me felt like a ripoff of, and because you actually had this, Voltron. He was the only member of our family that had the full big toy Voltron, where they actually all went together and came apart. The only member of the family that had it.
I still have it. It's down here in a Rubbermaid container that I couldn't even try to get to right now. But I still have Voltron. I love Voltron. So, Joe, blow your mind with this one. Bryan Cranston was one of the enemies in Power Rangers.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep, you're going to want to look that one up. That's fun. That goes down the rabbit hole a little bit.
So I worked at the Fox station in Corning, and we showed the Power Rangers every day in the afternoon. It felt like eternity. It was probably like 2 years.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of Power Rangers, and I just didn't get it.
Yeah, I mean it's Asian inspired stuff doesn't always translate well in America, but that is insane. That's the same thing, man. It's still going.
Yeah, still going. They just had a big budget movie, like what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, they just came out with a couple video games. The video games sucked.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, still going strong.
Man.
Just a couple more before we take a break. How about Super Soakers? They kind of came alive in the 90s.
Worth so much money now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Cuz, do you remember the one called Enertech? It was the first one that used to shoot water, but it made the machine gun sound when you pulled the trigger.
Yeah, I do remember that, oddly enough.
Yes. Yeah. Can't get them anymore, but boy, those Super Soakers.
Were they actually like black? They looked like real Uzis and stuff?
They look like real guns.
All right, so you're going to want to look up that one on Google too, because I think there's a horror story behind that one.
Really?
Yeah, I want to say there was like some like 9-10-year-old kid shot by a cop because he thought that was a real gun.
It was one of the reasons why they had to put the little orange tip on the toy guns.
Yeah.
It was because of that. Yeah, I remember that.
All right. So I'm not losing it.
Nope.
Yeah, I think that's why most of the guns are now bright orange and bright green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on, that takes the fun out of it.
Oh, sure. If you're not dodging real bullets, then it's not a game of war.
Come on, we used to play war back in the day. We threw real pine cones and stuff at each other.
Yeah, man.
Last one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Just like one of the Omega, like top 3 action figures of all time, right?
Okay.
Mm.
You collected them or no?
Am I right now?
At any point in your life.
Oh yeah, I had a bunch. That's one you kind of also have to have pretty deep pockets for. Not as deep as Transformers. It's impossible if you're trying to get into like collecting Transformers, unless you have a couple thou sitting around. You're not going very far with that. Ninja Turtles is kind of the same way. I mean, you can get like junky ones. Like someone wants to sell a lot of 50 of them or something. You can get those pretty reasonable. But if you want to get ones that are in good condition, maybe even in the package, you better plan on one of your kids going to community college instead.
Okay.
Can you name all the Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Like the main 4 or all of them?
All of them.
I mean, I could probably get pretty close.
Well, let's do the main 4 because I didn't know there were more than 4.
Well, I mean, there's other characters. There's only the 4 characters: Splinter, the Rat,
Shredder.
So that's the main enemy.
Uh-huh.
Rocksteady and Bebop are the the henchmen, whatever, the main henchmen. 4 Ninja Turtles are Raphael, Donatello, Leonardo, and Michelangelo.
April was the news lady, right?
Yep.
So, Jim, what's your experience with Ninja Turtles? The
I'm not
cartoon?
a fan. I'm not.
You're not a fan, but
I listen. Mad Dog used to watch these guys all the time, and I watched them with them and stuff like that. But I just never got into the believability that turtles could talk. I mean, they started as little turtles.
So
little turtles.
The comic books, the Ninja Turtles comic books, they originally started as a comic book, are all like black and white with like, they all had matching red bandanas, right? Mm-hmm. So, but those comics are dark. Like, it's crazy that they made the transformation to come to like family friendly cartoon.
And that I'd rather see them dark than family friendly. I want to see blood guts on a Saturday morning,
So it'd be more believable for the turtles to talk if they were killing everyone in sight?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. More death from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, we're going to take a break and come back and dive into 90s video games.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, the granddaddy of them all.
We've been waiting for this one.
Jim Deezy.
Hey, the big guy. Hey. I heard some news today.
Oh, what'd you hear?
Buzzsprout. Oh, yeah.
Oh, tell me more about Buzzsprout.
They are the go-to for starting a podcast.
So if I wanted to start a podcast, what do
Absolutely.
I do?
You go to our link. The
link in the show notes?
Page. Yeah, absolutely in the show notes.
Wow. And then it's just that simple? You just go to Buzzsprout and you can start a podcast?
And if you make 2 after you subscribe and you make 2 of your payments, they'll send you a $25 gift card to Amazon.
A $20 gift card to Amazon. That's amazing.
Oh, is it $20?
Yeah.
Hey, all right. $20 is $20. And in this tumultuous year that everybody has had, what better way not to wind down and express yourself and have some fun and start a podcast?
And
Use
if you don't know, if you don't know what you're doing, Buzzsprout can help you. They have tutorials, they have videos, and probably most importantly, they will help you get your podcast on all the major podcast sites.
Apple. Spotify.
You go anywhere and you'll find Talkin Baloney, because we're everywhere, and it's all because of Buzzsprout.
Yeah. Buzzsprout, folks. Buzzsprout.
So don't forget, click on the link, sign up, and start a podcast. What are you waiting for?
But I mean, you should start your own podcast. I mean, why not?
Yeah. We're back.
Hey,
Big
guy in the Antman. What's going on?
Have you guys had a video demonetized yet on YouTube?
Well, we're not monetized because we lack the subscribers, but
Gotcha. Well, let me know when that happens. We'll bring on my father. We'll get you demonetized within 2 minutes.
So
yes.
We are looking for sponsors, and we do know you work for a big corporation. They would probably want nothing to do with us, but
yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Okay.
We know you're pretty high up the food chain there, so Mr. Full-time, part-time hours.
And listen, when you've been there for 20 years at PTO, there's a lot of it.
Yeah. Have you really been there for 20 years?
Yeah, going on 19.
Holy moly.
Yep, exactly half my life I've spent there.
Wow.
Man.
It's a good joint. Good place.
So speaking of video games, what comes to mind, Antman? From the 90s, best video game.
Best, actually, oh boy, dear God. Actually, I would think the best video game from the 90s would be Super Mario 64.
Okay. What separates that from the rest?
It was such a giant leap in graphic and performance capability. It was literally going from 2D sprites running around on the screen to a full 3D environment. It was crazy.
What's like the value of that these days for the collectible market?
Absolutely nothing. There's a bajillion. There's a billion copies.
Absolutely nothing.
I mean, I'm sure you can really find like a pristine copy, never been opened, something like that. That would be worth some crazy money. But
I asked because we actually have a Nintendo 64 at my parents' house still, so just gonna cash in. But
unless you have, I think that system is still too new, kinda, to have most of the games be worth any money. But the units themselves, the consoles themselves, if you had call back to before the break, Pokemon Edition, Super Nintendo 64, insanely collectible.
Wow.
Which one was the 64?
Hold on.
Oh, you happen to have that right there, Andy.
I was going to ask, what if you bought all your games at Granny's attic? Are they worth more now than when you bought them for $1 each? Or
this is the Nintendo 64.
Oh, that's not the one where you had the thing where you had to blow into the game and put it in, and
no, that's the NES. That NES, I have that put away as well. I have one that plays like all four Super Nintendo, Nintendo, Game Boy, and Sega Genesis. That's what I play all those on.
Man, the big guy brought back Granny's attic from the grave.
Oh
Man.
my God, that was heaven.
They're not even there anymore, right? They're gone now.
Now there's some like insurance place or something.
But you can still buy old CDs and paperbacks there. Go figure. How about a GoldenEye?
GoldenEye was an excellent game. That's another one I think that's got to be up there vying for first place with Super Mario 64.
Yeah, it was like a game changer.
Yeah, it really was. For like multiplayer stuff, you didn't get better. It's funny, they actually, when they made that game, they had all the past Bonds, their faces actually programmed in the game already. But they didn't get everyone's permission to use it. So you can still kind of data mine and go into the game and find all the faces of the past Bonds, but they couldn't use them.
Wow. That's a little fun fact.
Yeah, it's cool.
Little fun fact. I have no idea what you're talking about, but that's an awesome.
How about Street Fighter 2?
I know this one.
Absolutely love Street Fighter. My daughter beat Street Fighter. I think it was Street Fighter 2. My daughter beat that when she was 5.
Oh.
I was like,
Man.
you just did something that I've tried to do in 30 years, and I haven't been able to do it. She beat that game on hard when she was like 5 years old.
Wow.
Did
pretty
Castlevania come out in the 90s?
Castlevania was like 84, 85. That's my favorite game franchise of all time.
It's the only one I really knew how to play besides Donkey Kong and Pac-Man.
Yeah, well, you were pretty raw at all of them.
Yo, you could say I sucked. I sucked ass at all those video games. I was not good at them. Yeah.
Well, I remember going over to your former residence I got a bottle of Southern Comfort, probably.
Uh-huh.
And a video game system. Which one would it? Probably PlayStation 2.
Uh-huh.
And I remember us saying, we're going to play all night. We're going to get hammered. And we're just going to have a riot playing these games. And we weren't 15 minutes into games. And you were like, yeah, dude, I'm just going to sit back here and watch you play.
Listen, video games were never I love video games. Don't get me wrong. I just suck at them. And when you suck at something, your interest is, Wasn't Zelda and all that stuff coming out in like the 90s?
I was just going to say, Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
I did play that once or twice. Still sucked at it.
Okay.
Still I'll throw it on every once in a while for a little low-key gaming.
How about NBA Jam?
Yeah, it was a great game.
Yeah. Talk about Charlotte Hornets fever, man.
Yeah.
Larry Johnson just throwing it down, balls of fire.
Yeah, that game
wasn't that the game where you could just stand at the one, there was like 2 or 3 spots on the 3-point line, and no matter, you could always shoot the 3 from that one spot all the time.
Very top, exactly, very top of the key, and the very low end of the key, almost at the, being out of bounds on the corner. If you aren't being defended, it is an automatic every time.
Isn't that the one that used to go, hot shot?
He's on fire.
He's on fire. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. I sucked at that, too.
So, big guy, what was your favorite video game that you can remember? It doesn't even matter if it's going back to Atari or now. I don't care. What's your favorite game?
I guess I probably had the most fun with Super Smash Brothers. because I would always be Donkey Kong, and I would just get destroyed by my 5-year-old nephew at the time.
Sure.
Lots of fun.
Yeah.
It sounds it.
I'm not even going to ask you what your favorite game was, because I would imagine, like, I don't even know. I don't even want to venture a guess.
Donkey Kong. You know why? Because the board never changed. Remember, it just got faster and faster. And then you go to the third board, it'd be the one board that was different, and then it would reset, and then just get faster and faster. Yeah, that's about my speed, my intellect right there. I'm a lover, not a video gamer.
Remember you were saying something about that you can enjoy everything even if you suck really bad at it?
Yeah.
That's, I guess, what makes you a lover.
Speaking of Jim's love life, how about Doom?
Well, that's more like my love life.
Oh. Doom and Duke Nukem and Quake.
Yeah.
Duke Nukem.
Yep. Doom was an excellent game. I didn't really like Duke Nukem very much. Quake was a trailblazer, definitely, but I never really liked Duke Nukem.
But,
Doom's remake from like 2-3 years ago was also really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Doom was the one where you basically destroyed mutated people, right? Is that the first-person shooter?
Yep. You just blew everybody up. That was like one of the real gory games that got a lot of flack.
How about Resident Evil?
That game, I liked the first two, but that game doesn't, for me, hold up really anymore. Like the old ones, I mean, it's very hard to find like a PlayStation 1 game that will hold up. But I don't know, just the storytelling and the voice acting, it was all garbage. I just never really. I like the game. I've played 1 through probably 5 or 6 to the very end, and probably 1 through 3 numerous times. But I don't know. It's nothing that I would put in like my top 5.
Okay. How about Wolfenstein 3D?
So I never even knew about Wolfenstein until, I don't know why. Never knew about Wolfenstein at all until probably 10 years ago.
How about stuff like Sonic?
Sonic was one of my favorites, definitely up in my top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, their number 5 on their menu is phenomenal. I mean, you get it with the tater tots.
We can tell by looking at your giant head that you love the number 5 at Sonic.
Roar.
Seriously, your head is taking up the entire screen still.
Calvin Cocoa Puff.
It just so happens that I have the camera pointed at the dome area here.
Not here or here so much, but right here.
Yeah. I'm trying to sit as close to the camera as I can and to the tablet as I can for the heat, because it's effing cold out here in this camper. Roar.
Castlevania was always my favorite. I've outside of mobile Castlevania games on mobile devices, I've definitely beaten every Castlevania game to death because I love those games. Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Yeah, Mega Man is always vying for top spot with me.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see what other one. There was a game called Ninja Kid that I don't think anybody played other than me, but I love that game.
Okay. Is that like an import, or was that like an actual American game?
Oh, I don't know. I know everybody for some reason who owned a Nintendo Entertainment System owned that game, and it wasn't an import, and I don't ever hear anybody talk about it, but I know that everybody had that freaking game, and I don't think anybody ever got past like the first level of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a lot of video games get turned into movies. Tomb Raider is one of them. What did you think of Tomb Raider?
I hated them all.
The games or the movies or both?
The movies. The first couple Tomb Raider games on PlayStation, top notch. Fine holiday fun.
Okay. Yeah, the movie sucked.
Yeah.
Trash.
How about any games based on movies other than like GoldenEye? Is there anything that jumps out?
That are any good?
I know that there was a terrible Wolverine movie, Wolverine Origins, that actually had a really good game on the PS3.
Yeah, so I stopped being a PlayStation guy after PS2.
Okay. Well, remember,
I had a
Jim,
Sega Genesis. That was my first game system.
Yeah.
Jim, you had the Saturn too, right? The Sega Saturn?
Yes, and we had the Sega Saturn.
So I have a really awesome story to share. I only got 10% left on my phone, by the way. So if if everything goes to roar here, that's the reason why. But you gotta call up. You gotta get the Booby Man on the show here at one point and ask him. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mad Dog, right? So the one
Calvin
day,
Cocoa Pop.
he used to work at the mall, okay? And the Sega CD and the Sega Saturn, it was announced that they were being discontinued.
Yes.
So we took the Booby Man's car, the Ford Aspire, and we took it over Harris Hill here, and Mad Dog had to be to work at like 4:30 or something, right? So I got out of school at like 3, and he said, yo, we got to go clean out Electronics Boutique of all their Sega CD, Sega Saturn games. They're selling for like $1. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm all about it. So he said, we got to hustle because I got to be to work soon. So he picked me up in the Aspire. We're going over Harris Hill, and we heard a really loud thump, and we had no idea what it was. And I'm like, at this point, like he was probably going, no joke, probably going 70, 80 over this hill. Terribly dangerously fast. And we hear a loud thump. We don't know what it is. We're both like, oh, man, like you're not getting to work. I'm not getting back home. We're in trouble. We got somebody else's car. We get to the mall. We get out of the car, and I look at him and just start laughing hysterically. The wind going over the top of the car at 80 miles an hour dented the entire hood.
Yes.
The entire hood popped in instead of being convex, it popped in concave like it was made that way.
Wow.
That car was so tiny.
So Mad Dog there just looks at me all puzzled and just punches the roof of the car, and the whole thing just pops back out. And so it was a good laugh thinking about the fact that if at any time that car rolled over, we were all done, done. So we made it to Electronics Boutique. I had a $20 bill, and I came back with a stack of CDs that was as tall as my torso. They were selling games for like 50 cents. It was amazing.
You know, pretty soon just about every store at the mall right now is selling stuff for $1 because they're all going out of business.
Except the board game store.
Oh yeah, they'll be there forever.
Oh man, they're a good store to go to.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's great having you on the show, Antman.
Yeah, Antman. Anytime you want to come on, you have an open invitation.
Well, thank you for the invite. I appreciate it. I like talking about toys and games, and we'll do it again sometime.
So you didn't like talking about cars? Is that the...
Well, only because I feel that's an off topic for me. I feel like I kind of suck at it.
You were actually pretty good at souping up that Honda you had back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about that. That was a lot of money. That was a lot of money wasted right there.
Which, with COVID, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where-
Anywho.
Where do we go from here?
Break.
Hey.
Jim Deezy.
Woo-hoo-hoo, the big guy.
Man.
Coming to you live from the dark room, it appears.
Yeah, it is getting dark there in your secret location.
Yeah. It's cold, dark, and damp.
So we just had a great session with the Antman.
Yes.
Talking the best of the 90s.
90s toys and video games and cars that we all knew so much about. And
I feel like we only tipped the very tip of the iceberg with his knowledge of video games.
Oh,
We probably need to do another episode with him just about video games, and so we can get the full tour of his video game collection, which is incredible.
Insane. We never even, he briefly showed a couple, pictures of game systems, but the man's got a ton of stuff. And
Yes,
I mean
he
a
does.
ton. Yeah.
So on Baloney Nation this week, 585-484-1770, we're going to start off with, we had a discussion last week where we talked about the best movie presidents.
Oh, yeah. I remember this.
So we did a poll online where you could vote, and these were the choices we gave to the Baloney Nation. We had Morgan Freeman from Deep Impact, Harrison Ford from Air Force One. We had Michael Douglas from An American President, and then Aaron Eckhart from Olympus Has Fallen. We put the results on the screen now, and there were a couple of write-in candidates as well. But Harrison Ford was the runaway winner with 53% of the vote.
What? Harrison Ford? I mean, I get it. I'm a Harrison Ford guy. But Morgan Freeman was the clear winner in my book on this one.
And Bill Pullman from Independence Day, the write-in candidate, got 12% of the vote.
Yeah. I see if Bill wouldn't have been a write-in candidate and E.G. Marshall wouldn't have been in there, we would have had, another 18% for Morgan Freeman. Still wouldn't have won.
True.
But,
He would have narrowed the gap, I think.
Yeah. He did a good job. Harrison Ford did a great job. He was a more hands-on kind of president guy,
So some quotes
hands-on.
from Baloney Nation. We have someone who said, "I choose E, as in E.G. Marshall, president who knelt before Zod and begged Superman for help on TV. Hashtag kneel before Zod." Another comment we got was, "Harrison Ford, hands down, period. Nobody says, get off my plane like he does. Not to mention his We Are Not Afraid speech." And then there was...
Very true.
I'm doing a write-in for President Whitmore, Bill Pullman, in Independence Day. You listen to that speech and tell me you're not pumped up and ready to go shoot down some alien bastards.
All good stuff right there. You're not going to hear me knock any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say the Neil before Zod president, E.G. Marshall.
Right.
He was kind of soft.
Well, I guess it depends what our criteria for a movie president is. He
Harrison
fits
Ford.
Right.
Hands on.
E.G. Marshall fits in terms of he's a classic actor. He looks the part.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, unlike Harrison Ford or Morgan Freeman, he kind of is a wimp who just he knelt before Zod.
He should have let Zod crush every bone in his body with just a clutch of his hand. Just doing his thing.
Yeah.
Before he gave up the ranch. And he just gave up the ranch.
So before we get to some questions from Baloney Nation,
Uh-huh.
last week you brought up an interesting item that you had
I did.
from Back to the Future. So let's take a look. It says, do not open until 1985. It is currently November 2020.
Yep.
That's from Lou's Cafe. Of course, Hill Valley, California.
Yep.
The setting of the Back to the Future movies. So you're going to go ahead and open that package.
We're going to open it. Open this live, folks, for the first time.
This is what they call in the internet an unboxing.
An unboxing. Now, obviously, we got some chocolate. It looks like wrapped up. It's been melted several times now, so it's not the smoothest.
Okay.
But it has I'm seeing this for the first time. It has a letter on the inside. So shall I read it?
Go ahead.
Says, Dear Dr. Somebody, because I ripped off the letters, so I'm guessing it's, the doc. On the night that I go back in time at 1:30 a.m., you will be shot by terrorists. Please take whatever precautions are necessary to prevent this terrible disaster. Your friend, Marty.
Wow.
There it is, folks. I'm putting the letter up there, so...
Now, if you remember in the movie, Back to the Future, Marty gives him that letter and Doc finds it and he rips it up.
Yes.
So
somehow that letter is now exclusively in this little packet, all put back together.
Yeah. And what kind of chocolate? Is it just like a regular chocolate bar, or is there...
I'm looking right now. Let's have to check this out. It's wrapped in a...
Is there peanuts? Is there nougat? Is there crunchies? What do we got?
This is a malted milkshake and potato chip milk chocolate artificially flavored candy bar.
Wow.
That's a whole lot going on there.
I would not have guessed that. There's potato chips in it?
It says milk, malted milkshake and potato chip milk chocolate.
Okay. So I'm going to need a taste test here. I'm going to need your feedback. I've never heard of a potato chip chocolate bar.
This thing is not in the best of shape after melting several times. So we're going to...
Okay. You said it melted a few times. Has it also been sitting around for a while, or is it date-wise fresh?
It's been in the freezer.
Okay.
It'd be good if they didn't put the potato chip stuff in it.
Really? You can taste like the potato chips?
Yeah.
Not good.
No. It's kind of alarming, actually. So we're gonna go ahead and seal this back up and give it to somebody some homeless person or whatever that may need this.
Okay, so that's a thumbs down on the Back to the Future candy bar. Oof.
Big thumbs down. Big thumbs down.
Okay.
Trash.
Now, you had another item that you showed us last week.
Now, going along the theme, now this probably be a little earlier than the 90s, but folks, we got the Pez dispenser.
Yes, so that is Batman and Wonder Woman Pez dispensers with 4 rolls of candy.
Oh,
and I see lemon, grape, and what is that, strawberry?
Strawberry and strawberry.
That's a lot of strawberry.
They apparently are really pushing the strawberry. I will leave this in the collector's edition package. Okay. We all know this might be worth money when the apocalypse happens.
It might be worth as much as those Beanie Babies you held on to.
Yeah, absolutely jack squat.
All right, so going to Baloney Nation, 585-484-1770. We have a text message.
Uh-oh.
Are you Kevin Smith fans?
I am.
Kevin Smith, the director of Mallrats and Clerks and Chasing Amy and Jay and Silent Bob. You like Kevin Smith?
I like he's done in a couple of the movies he's been in. I mean, I like the actor in a couple of movies. I mean, he's done some serious roles in movies. I mean, he's done the Jay and Silent Bob stuff, obviously, but he can be a serious actor too.
So we saw him in Die Hard. We mentioned his appearance there. He was the hacker in Die Hard 4, I think.
Yeah.
Most famous for his directing. I like him a lot, or I used to like him a lot. He was kind of famous for the stories he would tell. Like, he used to go college tours. I have a couple of DVDs of his speaking engagements. He tells really good Bruce Willis stories that kind of make you not like Bruce Willis anymore. He also he was hired to write the Superman movie that Tim Burton was going to direct, and Nicolas Cage was going to star in.
Really?
This is one of the most famous Hollywood didn't happen stories. This big blockbuster movie. So he's got a daughter, Harley Quinn Smith, and she wants to be an actress. She's not very good.
I wouldn't want to be an actor or an actress in this 2020 year right now.
But it's like Kevin Smith's entire career is now just making movies so his daughter can act in them. All right, we got a quiz because everyone knows how much you love quizzes.
I love them.
This person wants you to identify the movie star in these movies, and these are all movies that we have covered the stars in.
Okay.
So we've done a retrospective on these actors.
Okay.
First movie, Mortal Thoughts. Who is the actor in that?
Mortal Thoughts. I have no idea.
That is a Bruce Willis movie.
Oh, okay. All right.
Kind of
Damn
a
it.
psychological thriller.
Darn it. Got me.
Number 2, Losing It.
Harrison Ford.
It is a Tom Cruise movie.
Damn it.
One of his earliest roles. Number 3, Armed and Dangerous.
John Candy.
John Candy, of course, with Eugene Levy, a classic.
Yes. If you
Number
folks would know him from American Pie. He's the dad.
He's also on Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
Number 4 is Fist, F-I-S-T.
Oh, man. Sly Stallone.
It is. One of his lesser-known action movies. I never saw it.
Me neither. I took a guess, and I was, hey, I'm 2 out of 4 now.
Number 5, Raw Deal.
Oh, that's Arnold. That's Arnie, man. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I believe we talked about that one on our Schwarzenegger episode.
I like that movie. I like that one of his.
Yeah, that's one of his first really good movies where he
He's
really established
badass.
himself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. So next up, person writes in and wants to know, where might Tom Cruise fit in the Rocky or Terminator franchises? I guess this is a question to, like, if they were going to make a Rocky or Terminator movie and Tom Cruise was going to be in it, what kind of role could he be?
In Rocky, it would have to be that he wanted Rocky to train his kid. And he would have to be the Hollywood actor who approaches Rocky and saying, hey, I got a lot of money. Can you train my kid? And then somehow the kid ends up, turning his back on Rocky down the road, and Rocky beats the crap out of Tom Cruise.
Wow.
Now, in Terminator,
yeah,
I think it would have to be Tom Cruise is the newest and the greatest Terminator coming back. to do a fight scene with Arnie.
Yeah. That would be
see it.
interesting.
Or maybe Arnold, maybe Tom's like the president or something in the next, or like the next, general or,
the Terminator franchise is so messed up. They've started and restarted so many times. But I could see him as the like fully grown adult John Connor.
Yeah.
In the future, leading the rebels against the Skynet.
Rebel leader Tom Cruise, a.k.a. Jack Reacher.
I still like those movies.
It would be awesome if you did a spoof on the Terminator and he came back as Jerry Maguire in the Terminator.
Or yeah, if he came back as like Pee Wee Herman. All right, one more question from Baloney Nation this week. I think this one is kind of out there. It's, are you guys fans of Indiana Jones? I could never get into it. I found them boring.
What? You on crack?
Yeah. What is going on?
How can you find Indiana Jones boring? Indiana Jones is Indiana Jones.
That's right.
It's got to be one of these younger generation people.
It could be. The Indiana Jones movies aren't as flashy as some of the modern action movies, but
no.
Why don't you rank the 4 Indiana Jones movies for me right now?
Temple of Doom, Last Crusade. I'm gonna the original first. The Skulls. I like that one. That's probably my second favorite. Third favorite's gonna be the one with
Sean Connery.
Yeah, Sean Connery. That guy. Yeah, Sean Connery.
All right, so I'm going to try to repeat what you said.
I kind of went a little out of order, but...
You like Raiders of the Lost Ark first.
Yes.
You like Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls second?
Okay. Sean Connery's one is second. Then
so the Last Crusade is second.
Yes.
Temple of Doom is...
That's where he's like, cover your heart, right?
Yeah.
Third. And then the Skulls one, the one where he did it with the kid from Transformers. Shia LaBeouf.
LaBeouf. So that's the fourth, the worst one.
Yeah. Not a fan of his.
Yeah.
No, you got the joy of working with Harrison Ford, and look what you've done with your career.
He went off the deep end.
Yeah.
He's
literally.
one of those Britney Spears danger to himself for a while.
Yeah, he went off the deep end. Literally no water in the pool.
And on that uplifting note...
Somebody put him in concussion protocol.
Wow.
Dude, it's crazy. It's gotten all dark outside. It's all windy outside. I got these storm alerts popping up on my screen. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What are we in, 2020 or something? We're just going to shy away from saying anything about elections and stuff today because apparently that's frowned upon.
So on that note, we will see you next week on Talkin Baloney.
Stay classy, Rochester.
Yeah, keep rocking.